we're going to talk about hormones. And I don't know about you, but people have some hormone things going on lots of times, symptoms that occur that really shouldn't be happening if your body is in a healthy, well-balanced state. And we're going to talk about that. So thank you so much for being with me here today, Deborah. I really appreciate it. The first question I have to ask you is it normal to have PMS stuff, menopause stuff? Is that normal? Because I know other societies, people kind of just go right through them.
Well, society and, of course, the medical world wants you to believe it's normal. It's what we hear all the time. Many women start entering the perimenopause stage believing that, okay, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to start having issues with sleep issues. I'm going to start having hot flashes. I'm going to start having night sweats.
Oh.
But I'm like you. I didn't experience it either. And I think because of the fact that I started working on my health in my 40s, really started looking into eating healthier, exercising, trying to understand how my body would react better, how I could handle the daily stresses of life. I have learned through the years so much more that has helped me share that with other people. But I think it starts with preparing that body before you ever enter into menopause.
Right.
Now, once you've entered into menopause and you are having the symptoms, is it over with? No, it's never too late. It's never too late to grasp a hold of what can I do to take away these symptoms naturally without having to turn to medications, anxiety medication, sleep medication, even the hormones that are out there that are prescribed by the general medical population. How to avoid those. So there are answers out there.
Right. I love that. And it's so true. What you're saying is that we're taught that is normal. So we're kind of like going into it thinking, oh, this is what's going to happen. And even just that thought pattern alone is going to disrupt things, and cause anxiety too.
That's true.
So what are the main things that you would say really affect our hormone levels?
When we're young, the hormone levels are produced by the ovaries. That's the way nature intended it. The hormones are there to help us get pregnant and carry children, basically. As we start to enter perimenopause and, of course, menopause, these hormone levels, the ovaries start to slow down. They're not needed as much. Even during the perimenopause period, when we're having cycles every month, we're not ovulating every month. Those eggs are slowing down, the hormones are slowing down, things are changing. And this is when women start noticing the changes, that things are different. The cycles may be longer, they may miss some cycles, they may be shorter. And this is all normal. I guess that's what I try to teach women that I come in contact with. This is normal. Your body doesn't need these high active hormones as it starts to enter into the natural phase of menopause.
What are the symptoms that you feel can be corrected? So if people are going into this perimenopause, they are going into, what are the common symptoms that you see? And then how can we correct them?
So the common symptoms, of course, are what we've just talked about, of course. Anxiety is one, hot flashes, the mood swings, the vaginal dryness, of course. Lack of libido is taught to me all the time. All these things that start happening can be less because of the fact that even though the ovaries are decreasing in the production of hormones, the adrenals, which are two little tiny glands that sit on top of the kidneys, they are there to take over that cycle. They are there to start producing what the ovaries are decreasing producing. So how can we fix that? How can we assure that we have the hormone support that we need as we're entering this stage? Work on the adrenals. Work on fixing the adrenals. Many people walk around in constant adrenal fatigue, adrenal stress. And that's one of the major issues of why these symptoms are significant and happen and seem to be overwhelming, because the adrenals, which are designed to support the ovaries as they start to slow down in what they're doing, they're designed to take over. And many times they're not healthy enough to do that.
That's light bulb, I think, for many women, including myself. It's amazing. The body knows what it's doing. We kind of just have to trust it. So that would be the place to begin. So that would be also like a preventative thing, because what affects the adrenals, right, is major stress, where the adrenals are exhausted. So they can't do what they are meant to do during those stages of change. So what do you do to support the adrenals?
Well, I look at a 3-step process. There's this very simple, it's laid out. Number one, it's diet. You need to improve your diet. You need to, decrease the inflammatory foods, which many times is dairy and gluten. You need to increase the good, healthy foods, which would be good, healthy fats, good, healthy vegetables, support the vitamins, which give you the vitamins you need to. The second step would be adding good supplements into your diet. Supplements are important to allow the body to heal and absorb the nutrients that you are eating in the food that you eat. Gut health is very important. Many women walk around with very, very low vitamin D. Vitamin D affects the ability of your gut to absorb foods that we need to absorb. Vitamin D3 with K2 is very, very important. One of the supplements talk about quality magnesium, also calcium, bioavailable calcium. Herbs are excellent to help heal the body. The ashwagandha, the magnolia bark, these things help heal, second step part of healing. And then the third step, of course, is reducing your stress, where we all hear how to reduce the stress from an external environment, like trying to get enough sleep, trying to look at stressful events in our lives, stressful situations, trying to get away from them or to improve them. Also, just trying to exercise, trying to eat better. All these help with stress. But one of the things I have really, really learned is that a major factor that will help with stress is looking at the internal. How internally can we help the stress too? And that's where, in the last year or so, 6 months or a year, I have realized how important the neurotransmitters are that are produced in our gut to help decrease the stress that's going on in our life. And so that's been a major eye-opener for me, and that I'm trying to get out there and to show people that sometimes it's just not enough to try to externally control stress. We need to try to internally help decrease the stress, which is great to know that we have another option besides, because many times we can't control what's going on around us. We can't control the other people. We can't control the work environment. We can't control the stress that we run into every day, but we can control, which is just great to know, the stress internally and how to improve our ability to handle that stress and bounce back from that stress through the neurotransmitters, which are serotonin and dopamine, two the biggest ones.
It's incredible to think of that. We really haven't tapped into that. Like you said, so people, when they think about how to manage stress, they think about, like what you said, exercise, diet, movement, yoga, meditation, all that stuff. But nobody's thinking about like what is happening internally to our body when we experience stress, like how that's breaking down our body and what we can do to support it nutritionally. So that's really interesting. So you mentioned ashwagandha and magnolia bark, right, which are both adaptogens, right, that help us deal with stress.
Yes.
And then the gut, which is, like you say, that's where our neurotransmitters are produced. So
exactly.
explain a little bit about that, like the percentage of neurotransmitters that happen in the gut.
Yeah. So, we all know of serotonin. We hear it all the time. Many of the antidepressants that are prescribed by the medical profession are supposed to allow our body to reuptake the serotonin and help it get to the brain. But the problem is, if we're not producing it, how are we reuptaking it? And so the very interesting thing is that, over 90% of serotonin is produced in the gut. It's not produced in the brain. And that is a huge difference and a huge fact in things that I didn't know, until recently. Also, dopamine, serotonin is responsible for your happiness, your decreased stress, your ability to adapt to the stress that's going on, your enjoyment of life. And then dopamine, over 70% of that is produced in the gut. Dopamine is a phenomenal neurotransmitter. It is the one who, I guess my personal experience with dopamine and increasing dopamine in my life has been phenomenal, as far as it is the motivator neurotransmitter. It gets you going. It excites you about life. It helps you achieve goals and things that you want to do in your life. It's one of the things that when you've got an increased dopamine floating around in that brain, it's amazing what you can do.
So would dopamine be responsible for focus as well?
Exactly. Oh, yes. You're able to focus. You're able to concentrate. You're able to get those thoughts clear on the steps that you need to take to it. Because we all have goals. I mean, we've had goals all of our life. That's just part of it. That's what keeps us going. Goals to improvement, goals to a happier life, goals for success. And so these neurotransmitters help us be able to simulate these goals and put them into a let's take action steps so that we can achieve them.
Amazing. Really still blows my mind because I too have been learning about the importance of getting the gut back in balance so that our body can really start to function like it's supposed to. I mean, it's just amazing. Like I've always just believed that if the body is in balance, it'll take care of our immune system, it'll take care of our hormone levels, like everything will just work synergistically in balance like it's supposed to. But it is something that's, like you said, like an ongoing thing from all your life. You know what I mean? So like young girls and stuff that are having issues with menstrual cycles, like now's the time to really start to figure out, like, this is not normal. I shouldn't have cramps. I shouldn't be like over the toilet, like in pain. I shouldn't be like bleeding like crazy. Like something hormonally is off. Something's not right. It's not normal. So I guess that's the main thing. Same thing with menopause. Like, let's not expect that it's supposed to be this horrible time. Like, I think this is the best time.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, like the wisdom years, right?
Exactly. And like my motto is, it's never too late.
Right.
It's never too late to achieve your dreams. It's never too late. And that's a wonderful feeling to know, because I do come in contact with many, many women that do feel it's too late and do feel, but I just want to, scream it from the rooftops. It's never too late.
Yes.
There are steps you can take naturally to promote the healing, cure, the wellness, the happiness, the success that we all want.
Just continue to work on your health. That will enable you to really live the life that you were meant to live. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Have a fantastic day, everyone.